Hi, Bob.
Right, space.
That's right, space. So, you were telling us in the other video about the difference between what Vocal Group does in terms of training salespeople compared to all the standard off-the-shelf courses that are out there. And you mentioned two things, so it's power and space. In the last video, you explained what power was and the fact that salespeople get a power rating.
Yeah.
And then we can improve that power rating. But then moving on to space, what's space all about?
Okay, as you quite rightly say, we talked about power the last time. Power to your sales team, your individuals, and the company as a whole. And also giving power to your prospective customers. It's good to give them power.
Yeah.
It increases the interaction. An important part of the process, I called SPACE, another acronym.
Okay.
And SPACE essentially stands for self, for purpose, for audience, for code and experience.
Okay.
These are important things. And self really is all about you. What makes you tick? Because if we don't know anything about the self, we don't know how to move forward.
Okay, so the more we know about us, our
clearly defining who you are. Yeah,
sell.
our ability to sell, our ability to lead, our ability to interact with another human.
Right.
Okay? Understanding that is key.
So perhaps I might have a blind spot, maybe, where, I don't know, my breath smells or something, and I wasn't aware of it. So when I get close to people, I don't sell as much.
Okay, that's working at a physiological level, as amusing as it is. The key thing is what's going on in here.
Right.
How do you feel about yourself? In your position in the company, in your position in the team, in your position in life generally.
Right.
Okay, so self is an important criteria. We need to look at that and we find out what makes that person tick. And
so
how
do
they
the top
interact.
salesperson or the bottom salesperson?
Doesn't matter. If you're the top salesperson, we can make you even better. I don't think I've ever met a salesperson or team leader who wants to stand still.
Okay.
If they do, the company tends not to be too happy with them. Companies are in business for one thing, and that's to increase sales, increase business, increase that contact with new people constantly. Okay? So self is important.
Yeah.
The purpose is also all about you. So are your salespeople, are your team leaders on purpose? They might have set their goals, which is quite common. A good salesman, a good team leader would have goals and objectives, but do they have purpose? What's their purpose in the company? Do they follow the mission statement of that company? And do they really mean, what they say when they work with the company?
All right, interesting, Bob. I'm quite interested about this code thing. Now that seems
we've missed a little bit out there. You're missing
the
out audience. Who you speak to and how you speak to is really important. An important linguist and philosopher once said that the map is not the territory. A guy called Korzybski. What he meant by that was we all share the same world, but we see it very differently. Now, I see the world in one way, you'll see it in another way. And how we marry those two differences is what makes a connection, that H2H connection. And understanding your audience's map allows you to navigate effectively through them, which brings us to code. If you know the code, and you can crack the code to your customer's way of thinking or their map of the world, guess what? You can navigate through that map
sell more to them.
Sell more to them. Sell more ideas, sell more services, and build more relationships. Again, coming back to that emotional thing, that H2H.
Right.
That ethos that we feel is so important.
That's why sometimes when you meet some people, you get on with them better and quicker than others, because there's sort of a natural code between you, is there?
Yeah, there is.
And then there's other people that you can work out their code, and therefore you can change how you communicate with them to improve that rapport building.
To build trust.
Right.
Ultimately, all sales, all communication between individuals is about trust.
Yeah.
People work together because they trust each other. That's the key thing here. The final part of the acronym SPACE is E, which is experience, and that's about everything. It's how we marry all of those other elements together.
Okay.
So, how does that person, that individual that you're seeing, or that company feel about themselves in terms of identity? Their behaviours, their environment itself. Sometimes you can go into a company and just change the environment to change behaviours.
Yeah.
So we work from the ground up, from environment through to identity. What makes that company really tick? Are they on purpose? Will they have the power to carry on?
Okay.
And that's where SPACE fits in. We'll have a look at their power rating based on a number of different factors. Okay. We'll create their SPACE model.
Yeah.
And we'll look how we can improve each level of SPACE.
Okay.
How to improve the self, how to improve the purpose, how to improve the audience retention, how to find the code, and finally, how do we utilise their experience.
That's great. We've been doing this for some number of years now.
A number of years now.
And there's some testimonials that,
as always, great testimonials from people who have an experience, shall we say, of the power and the space we give people.
So for those companies who've got field sales teams out there and sales directors who want to improve those sales, they need to come to us. Have a power rating done.
Let's do the power rating. Let's see where your power. Let's see where your power lies and how we can create space for you to make further changes in your company. That's what we're all about. Create power in the individual, in the team, to do well.
Okay, brilliant. Thanks, Bob.